Well, from here, we'll be taking the big stories, front pages from the online space. And we're rather spoiled for choice this morning, but we'll be starting with that trending comment, well, quite a number from the interaction of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory with pressmen yesterday. Okay, we're told that that is not quite ready at this point in time. Let's go to, okay, we have that ready now. So let's take that and then we'll come back and take your comments.
You are talking about Amaechi?
Yes, sir.
And you have been specific. I don't know how a man will choose his 60th birthday to tell lies. It's unfortunate. Of all time, it's your 60th birthday that people are celebrating you. You used to tell lies to Niger. You are hungry. Let us tell ourselves this. He was Speaker 1999 to 2007. Yeah. And if anybody knows, he was the most pampered Speaker. Then he was reading law in London as a Speaker 1999 to 2007. He became a governor 2007 to 2015. He was still reading law in London. 8 years as Speaker of Rivers State House Assembly. 8 years as Governor of Rivers. You never talked about hunger. You became a minister from 2015 to 2023. 8 years, super minister, transport, where you were borrowing money for exit bag, loans. You didn't talk about hunger. 2 years you have left office. I'm in coalition because I'm hungry. You're only hungry of power. And that's just failure on his part. How do you look at it? How do you insult Nigerians? How do you trivialize the issue of hunger or poverty?
Well, an interesting perspective from Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, is an interesting individual. Love him or hate him, he has an interesting perspective to things. But guys, what I see is all of them being politicians. At the end of the day, whether it's Nyesom Wike or the president or Amaechi, they're all politicians. So don't be confused or swayed. All these are political rhetorics. So we have to focus on the substance. You know, him being cheeky there, talking about Amaechi being hungry for power. They are all hungry for power. If he wasn't hungry for power, the issue in River State, for instance, may not have been, because he wants to manage the structure. He put these people in power with the resources, his or the state, whichever you want to look at it. And as far as politics is concerned, politicians are concerned, they want to be relevant. And so it's also the interest in power, in that sense, that is causing the upset in River State. So he's also a dramatic person in River State. So when you talk about people being hungry for power, and Nyesom Wike, Amaechi, all of them are all hungry for power. If not, they would not be there. But what is important to us as a people is for the substance of the matter. Is there poverty in the land? Yes, there's poverty. The government is explaining to the effect that this poverty, they understand why it's there because of the twin policy. And people are saying 2 years down the line, when is this going to be over, or some level of reprieve? I think that's, for me, guys, what I want to focus on. Because whatever is said there, they're all guilty. The president, Amaechi, Wike, all hungry for power, fact for fact. And they'll keep trying to stay in power at the end of the day. So that's a non-issue. But the pain as it affects the people is what is primary to all of us. Whether the opposition is cashing in on that pain is a different kettle of fish. But lived-in reality of human beings that are citizens of Nigeria is biting hard. And that's, for me, what I want to focus on as far as all that statement is concerned.
Absolutely. And I think we've seen a trend, particularly for the former governor and former minister. I recall last year, I think it was in October, when he was saying that he couldn't afford diesel again, right? And I know a lot of people came for him saying, well, this doesn't add up. First, super minister. But lest we forget, I know they also say, governor. Exactly. I know they say ministers are equal in the cabinet. We say that just to make everybody feel good. But when you look at the budget that the ministers handle, then you begin to understand why some people are called super ministers, right? So if you have a minister who works and you know what goes on in that ministry in terms of the constructions, the loans and all of that, you understand why it's called a super minister. Then former governor of oil-rich Rivers State, to have said that, so that caused quite a stir last year. And this year, yet again, he's saying he's hungry. So I think there's been that consistent trend. Is he trying to pass a message beyond that? Because we know that he's not hungry. Certainly. I mean, take a look at how much.
Saying that.
No, of course. I mean,
Cannot be hungry.
How much did it cost to rent the hall that was used for that event? In Abuja, it cost millions of naira. So a hungry person wouldn't rent that hall. Even if they gave him the money, if you're a hungry person and someone is giving you 10 million to rent a hall, you say, I don't need to rent a hall. Give me the 10 million naira cash. We'll do Zoom. For that book launch. So perhaps he's trying to pass another message. On the one hand, is it trying to solidarize with other Nigerians and say, well, I feel your pain, I feel the hunger, so I am hungry like you, even though I am not hungry in that sense. So there are lots of layers to peel off this one. But clearly, as Jeffrey has said, politicians are hungry for one thing mostly. It is power influence.
I think
steadily.
I agree with Jeffrey here. Jeffrey has defined, you know, the heart of the conversation, which is Minister Nyesom Wike's honesty, and, you know, also called him out for also being hungry for power. If he were not, how do you define the situation in Rivers State? And we all know that he has clearly identified himself as the protagonist, or if you like, antagonist in that situation. He's the one calling the shots. He's the one giving the conditions for peace in Rivers State. And, you know, not just Rivers State. If he's not hungry for power as well, how has he called the shots or held the PDP by the jugular since the 2023 elections? So it just pretty much tells us that, you know, our politicking is not a politics of ideas, but a politics of power grab, of politics that protects the bourgeoisie in the society, or politics of snatch it first and then let the opposing party go and cry in the courts later on. People are dying in Niger State. There is no superior argument from the politicians about the environmental challenge. There is education crisis. There's no superior argument about to improve the lot of students and pupils in school, no superior ideas from the electorate. So it just speaks to the need for the people to be more informed and to also be a part of the process. We're looking forward to reading from you on these as well, but we'll move on to another. And this time around, we're going to Niger State, of course, a consequence of politicking, whether you like it or not. Is it good or bad politicking? But what exactly is happening there? Coyote, you have it.
Oh, yes. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Mr. Peter Obi, paid a visit to Niger State in the aftermath of the flooding, the Mokwa flooding. We understand that the death tolls nearing 200 or even more than that as at this moment. And Mr. Peter Obi characteristically visited with some members and leaders in his party, and it was good to see him, of course, condoling the people and also making a donation yesterday in Niger State. So there you have it, the presidential candidate of Labour Party visiting yet again. So perhaps it's a call to other Nigerians to support. He donated 20 million naira, I should say, and the Niger State government has also put out a tweet and put out account number trying to raise funds for the humanitarian situation, particularly for the people affected. Again, I know there are different sides to this argument. Isn't the government able to adequately cater to these needs? But in situations such as this one, all of the help you can get is certainly welcome, right? I know the federal government had said, let's give, is it 6,000 or 60,000 bags of rice? The primary healthcare development agency set up at these centers. But those who are in need are still saying, well, we don't have all of the help, at least the basic that we need. So it's good to see Mr. Peter Obi paying a visit to Niger State. I know that a lot of people have also read political meanings to it, but I think this is something he's done consistently in other parts of the country? Is it Plateau? I know there was some controversy when you wanted to visit Benue at some point. But hey, it's a call to action for other Nigerians as well. And to the government also, we should not wait for events like this to happen. We can plan ahead, better disaster management, early warning systems, and to the people as well, guys.
And we have the first user. Jeffrey, you have the first.
No, you can go ahead, Bukola.
There's Mr. Bishop who's speaking this morning, and he's, well, if you like, he's through projecting what would happen under a different leadership. And he says to Mr. Obi, under your leadership, all this mess up and down would be no more. That's coming from Mr. Bishop. Kaide, you have the next one.
Just to be clear, do you mean that there will be no natural disasters if you were president? Do you mean that there will be better preparedness in that sense? Again, there's the federal and the state layers. So it's important to properly contextualize these things. Yes, it may have a direct line to Providence, to Mother Earth, saying, well, disaster shouldn't happen during my time. Maybe it does. But it's important to also know that other people have responsibilities, the governors, subnationals, lawmakers, and all of that, to ensure that some of these things are really dealt with. The next user, Maurice Moye, saying, I sincerely appreciate your unwavering dedication to the people of Nigeria. Your efforts exemplify a profound commitment to service, he says.
All right, this is coming from Joe Jeffs. A true leader will have empathy and compassion for his people. Peter Obi, be ready to drive Nigerians to the awaited Nigeria that is possible. This is currently campaigning, right? The decision-making balls must end at your table. Decide the future of Nigeria. We appreciate your generosity and effort. So as Kayode said, whether this is politically motivated or it's just is humanity, all are welcome. But we cannot take away the political element as well, because this is all part of the political PR to keep visibility as far as this is concerned. And he's done quite a bit in staying visible in the eyes and the mind of people, either by his pronouncement or some of these visits. So it's a twin humanitarian effort as well as a political PR, in my view. Okay, guys, where do we go from here?
We have emails. Do we have time to take the emails?
Well, we'll get to them.
Yeah.
But let's take a quick break now. When we return, there's more for you. Stay with us.